I'm Haley Menard from the Sugar Burger, and if you are local to the Northeast, you know that we do the Big E up every year, and one of the staple items is cream puffs. So I'm going to do a homemade version that can help you work on your sweatpants body all year round. Do I have to eat one of these? I do. I'm gonna. These are good. I'm gonna eat this whole thing. I'm gonna eat it all. The biggest difference between a choux pastry and like making something like a cookie or muffin or whatever is that this is a cooked batter that you're gonna pipe. When you see them, it wouldn't look like that. It kind of looks like maybe like a popover you'd put in a pan, but we cook it. It's really easy ingredients that everybody has. First, there's a cup of water. Next, we're gonna add a stick of butter to it. Boop. And then a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. We are going to let all of these come to a boil. Once that's happened, the last step is to add 1 cup of flour to it. And then you're just gonna stir that in till it kind of looks like mashed potatoes. We're boiling, folks. I am going to turn off the heat, and then I am going to add the 1 cup of flour. And we're just gonna start stirring it. It's gonna look like terrible at first. So this is like what I like to call like homemade mashed potato stage. You're looking for like Bob Evans family size, like this. It's pulling away from the side, it's thicker. So we are done at the stove. So we're gonna take it off the heat and let it cool just a little bit. You ready to go?
Yeah, you can just go.
Okay.
And we're back.
Now that you have cooked together your flour, butter, water, and it looks like Bob Evans mashed potatoes, we're kind of gonna let it cool a little bit. We're about to put eggs in it, so you don't want to scramble those. You want them to incorporate. I use my secret weapon, duck eggs. I have 3 beautiful ladies in the backyard, Wanda, Khaleesi, and Cardi D, and they give me eggs.
Looking like a baddie, I show up and make them stop. Wanna know my name so badly, cause I run this whole block. Fit my hair, move my head, show the world I'm royalty. When I walk by, they be taking bows, cause they know I'm the queen, yeah.
Duck eggs are bigger than chicken eggs. They have about twice the fat. So if you're gonna use them for a recipe, definitely Google what the ratio should be. They tend to give your baked goods a little bit more of a rise. So with cream puffs, why not? But since these just freshly came out of the orifices of my ducks, I'm going to wash them before I put them in our cream puff batter. Boom. Our eggs are washed, they're ready to go in. We do this one at a time. You're gonna crack it in, stir it up until it fully incorporates, and you'll know because it doesn't look like slime pieces anymore. We'll start with 1. Stir it in. You like that noise? Macaroni in a pot ain't got nothing on cream puff. Egg number 2. It looks like really bad at first. Big eggs. You know what they say about big eggs?
Large flapjacks.
That's right. Last egg. It's exhausting, but all of our eggs are in. We are done making the choux batter. So we are going to put it into a piping bag using the best trusty method of popping it over a beer glass. And then we're gonna pipe these onto a baking tray. I go kind of a large piping hole because you're gonna make a Hershey Kiss / poop emoji shape with these. I still like to use my macaron mat just because it gives me a little bit of a guide to make everything the same. It makes your food look really pretty when everything looks the same. So we just do a poop swirl. I might look like I'm going crazy all over the baking mat. I don't want them too close together. These guys need room to breathe. The last step before these get put in the oven is we are going to take their poop emoji tops and we're going to tap them down with a wet hand. So they all look more like mounds and they don't have that alfalfa on top. Once you've done that, another good trick is to gently sprinkle like a little bit of water onto the sheet pan. The steam helps them rise in the oven. I use a flick motion. Not an egregious amount, just like a sprinkle. These are gonna go into the oven at 400 degrees, and we're going to check that by using, this is my Dora the Explorer moment. Do you remember how we check the oven temperature?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's okay, you're supposed to have the awkward pause, and then the kids answer with the right answer.
The oven timer.
The oven timer, no, the thermometer. So we have a secondary hanging oven thermometer in there that's gonna tell me the honest to God temperature of the oven. I'm not using my beep beep, it's done, because it's, again, a goddamn liar. But we're gonna put this in the 400-degree oven and not open it. This is all the baking shows. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have opened the oven and cream puffs didn't work. Think of it like a hot air balloon. You're in the sky with the fire in the balloon and then someone just shuts it off. I feel pretty confident like you might perish from that. I don't know fully how hot air balloons work, so you don't wanna turn off your fire before it's time. They're not fully baked, they're gonna collapse. I'm going to put them in the oven. Maybe like 27 minutes has been a good time for me. You gotta be prepared to up one batch of these because you just truly need to know how long you need to leave it in without opening the oven. And hopefully we're gonna have dope cream puffs. Blech. And hopefully we're gonna have dope cream puffs when they come out. We are going to make the whipped cream that's gonna go in between the cream puffs. We're gonna do this the kind of old-fashioned way, although we're using a stand mixer. We're gonna take some heavy cream and whip it up because the recipe for whipped cream is whipping cream. Not a real brain buster. I'm going to do 2 cups of heavy cream. I'm going to let this whip up a little bit before adding 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. I don't want it super, super sweet, but a little bit. You don't want it to just taste like almost butter. We're at the stage now where we can add some powdered sugar. It's noticeably thicker, but noticeably not whipped cream. So I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons. The reason I'm using powdered sugar instead of granulated is because it's lighter. Obviously with whipped cream, you're not really looking to weigh it down a ton. And then I'm going to do some vanilla. I use a Costco capful. This is not a total science, just make it how you like it. And now we're gonna keep whipping this until it's actually whipped cream. You can't go too long because then it's butter. Whipped cream. It's been 27 minutes. Oh yeah, God yeah. But we can't take them out yet. You have to let them like chill in there and like cool down that way. You wanna see them?
Wow.
Aren't they beautiful? Oh, am I allowed to talk? Oh, I didn't know if you were ready. Yeah. You see them, boys? Our cream puffs are out of the oven and they are gorgeous. A trick that I use when they're done cooking in the oven and you look at them and you're like, those cream puffs are beautiful. Don't pull them out, leave them in there, shut your oven off and open the door. They need to come down to temperature gently or again, they could deflate. But these guys are ready to cool and then they're ready to be filled with some whipped cream. Now that our whipped cream is done, we are going to fill these. I'm going to do it just like the little old ladies at the Big E do. I've researched that they ice cream scoop it into the cream puffs. So I'm gonna kind of cut the hat off of this guy, cut him in half. And you can see inside where the cream puff puffed, right? We have these holes that show that it rose and got big. So it's gonna have a really delicious texture when you bite into it. So we filled up our scoop, pop it on top, put its hat back on. So now you can get fat on your Biggie cream puffs all year round. And when you watch those super fun baking shows where people keep messing these up, you can be like, oh my God, I can totally do that. So easy. You want to film as much as you want. I'll make money on this, like with weird sex people. And they'd be like how messy it is. Them Biggie ladies, they can't do shit.